There it is. Wow.
We've been working towards this moment for 5 weeks.
We're just about to end this 5,500 nautical mile ocean race.
Not to mention the years of preparation and planning it took for us to embark on this voyage.
It was a really good practice. I think it was a really good taste for what's to come for the Osaka.
Yeah.
34 days of that.
3 minutes to go. What a way to start a race. Mum, the spinnaker wants to come down.
Oh, well done you.
Good job. Woo! Wind!
For the past 5 weeks, my mum and I have been sailing non-stop, south to north across the globe.
It's such a huge piece of ocean that we still have to cover.
From Australia to Japan in the Melbourne to Osaka double-hander, the world's longest longitudinal ocean race.
We're now within the Solomon Sea, well and truly leaving Australia behind now. So nice.
But this has been more than just a race.
I feel like we're never going to get out of this.
It's been an endurance test, something we had to rise to and conquer.
So much more pepper! Whoa!
We've celebrated the highs.
Day 24, and Fika and her crew are just about to cross the equator.
How much do you want, Neptune? It's not bad, actually.
Oh!
And push through the lows.
This has probably been the most challenging week. The midway point, it's just turn to glass.
There's been no stopping.
We have a big storm brewing just to the east of us.
No one to help but each other.
She's hidden now! Wow.
I've discovered more stamina in myself than I ever thought possible.
Spinnaker up and then back down for a squall. And back up.
Now we're so close to crossing that finish line in Osaka and becoming the first all-female team to do so.
Looking forward to a cold drink, I reckon, and it's about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I've lost my voice from screaming at you.
But we're not there just yet. Harsh weather ensures we've got plenty to fix.
This pole came crashing down on deck.
Glass outs ensure we never take a single knot of boat speed for granted.
Oh boy.
And the thousands of tons and continuous stream of ships ensure we're kept on our toes right until the end.
It's absolute chaos.
Well, that was a chaotic night. Mum and I were up together for most of it. I think we got about 2.5 hours of sleep each. A low pressure system wreaked havoc as it quickly swirled past us. It was one predicament after the other as the wind spun wildly around us.
It was absolute chaos on board Fika. Basically because it just did this like aggressive twirl around us. We literally were in the center of this thing. One minute we had probably 30 plus knots of southerlies, and then the next minute it swings through to the west, literally within like minutes, and then it does a full 180 and comes straight from the north and then just dies altogether.
Until building into a 30 knot easterly, which meant
it was 5 o'clock in the morning when Mum went down for her second watch, and it was 7 a.m. when I went down for my second off watch. Crazy.
So the morning of day 33, and about 600 nautical miles off the coast of Japan, the boat was still in a state of turmoil. Lines upon lines to tidy in the cockpit.
The aftermath. Oh my gosh. Can't see you in all the ropes.
The second reefing line held on for dear life as another line that has succumbed to chafing.
We have destroyed the outer sleeve of yet another line.
A car was missing from the mainsail somewhere up there, and our pole lay unusually on deck after it disconnected from the mast and came crashing down.
There was quite a lot to fix up, and get our chaotic mess back in order.
After getting a couple more hours of sleep each, we knew we had to get cracking with fixing some things up. By late morning, the wind had settled from 30 knots into a beautiful breeze. And with forecasted light wind, we needed to make the most of it. So it was our priority to sort out this chafed and completely busted reefing line to use the full surface of the main. This meant putting in the third reef to take the load off the damaged line and to start replacing it with our old line, which we've luckily held on to.
Always keep your old lines if they're not completely broke. That is the lesson here. It's the lesson that we've learned twice on this trip. Is it coming through okay? Oh my gosh.
The line had turned thick, a phenomenon that we experienced earlier in the race. So as it bunched and jammed, Mum worked at the front of the boom while I assisted feeding it through at the back. And when the line finally did come through,
Yay!
we felt instant relief that we wouldn't be ending this race with a permanent reef in.
Nearly there. It's good advertisement for dining. That's it. Alright, that's a full main again. Gosh, we needed that hours ago. Hopefully it's all sorted now.
This may not have seemed like a big task, but it completely exhausted our energy. We would have to deal with the pole another day because rest was needed. And we were grateful to have an uneventful following evening.
How much? Yeah. 20. Yeah.
But the forecast wasn't looking promising. I woke with Mum already setting the spinnaker, and the wind was only easing more. While we knew we'd fall into light wind holes, it doesn't make it any easier hearing the slatting of sails. It feels even more excruciating as we're so close now, but still so far, drifting at less than a knot. At this point, it's about ensuring we preserve the boat to not jeopardise us finishing this race, which means taking down the spinnaker so it doesn't shred itself on the rigging as it flops to and fro.
It's day 34 and it's also Easter, and we have no wind today, but at least we have hot cross buns.
I'm getting the chop.
Mum has been busy in the galley this morning. It was Easter and the perfect excuse to bake a treat. They smell like hot cross buns.
Okay.
Yum.
So while the hot cross buns cooked, aromas of cinnamon flooded our nostrils as we worked on deck.
Smell like hot cross buns. You can smell the hot cross buns. Well, while we've just been flogging around here. We've dropped the main because it's just doing more damage than good at the moment when conditions are like this. The wind's just completely died out. We've put the spinnaker away and put this little drifter staysail up as we didn't want to damage the spinnaker either with it flogging around. So we've just got this little like sacrificial thing. And yeah, while all of this is happening, a whale just pops up. Whale! Oh! Yeah, it's not a humpback, it's definitely something else. I need a big camera. Oh, a whale. Yeah. We don't really know what type of whale. I don't think it was a humpback whale, a bit of a different dorsal fin, which is interesting, so we'll have to get the book out. But yeah, what a surprise, like a big whale. We haven't seen a big whale this whole trip, so first big whale. Oh, I wish it came this way.
It was a brief encounter, but still, excitement of seeing such a huge creature flooded us. It was a moment that drew our eyes away from managing the boat.
The whale was quite a nice little surprise. Nice little visit for the day.
We had dropped the main to prevent damage, but its halyard had also been on our mind for a while now. So we took this opportunity to inspect for chafing. The last time we checked it was back in the Solomon Sea, over 2,000 nautical miles ago.
I mean, there's definitely chafe there, but it's just so far like a bit of...
It had the beginning signs of wear, but we weren't too concerned. Since then, we've barely had a reef in for longer than a few hours, so the halyard has been sitting in the same position for some time. And upon inspection, it revealed a not so ideal state of condition.
So as we've gotten the main down, we've been able to look at our main halyard, and there's definitely a bit of chafing on the outer sleeve, which is what we've been struggling with a lot this trip. We just had the second reef go on us yesterday, and we're worried the same thing's going to happen here, so we're just going to try and prevent the same thing happening again. So the aim of the game is to attach the outer sleeve to the core to hopefully prevent it from coming undone if it is to chafe through, to stop it from slipping and bunching up into a fat sausage that gets jammed in the sheaves. And then we're going to go around the outside of it and whip it with this thread to create an outer sleeve.
It was a bit of a botched job, but it should get the halyard in one piece to Osaka. If we are to ever get there.
Well, that's my dodgy job. Hopefully that will get us into Osaka.
A small puff of breeze graced us, and we attempted to use the sails once again.
Do you want to pull the slack up on that?
It was another day of the boat demanding our energy. But fueling us was knowing we were only a few days away from that finish line if we pushed hard.
Yum!
And of course, Easter treats.
Ta-da!
Yay! Happy Easter.
Very good.
I think the Easter would be
A bit more breeze eventually got us moving at a hopeful pace. But it felt not very committed to being a reliable bit of breeze. Mostly because, according to the forecast, we were in for a windless night, which, unfortunately, eventuated, and even more exasperating, the windless night followed us into day.
Well, we're about 320 miles off the coast of Japan, and you'd think that we were in the doldrums right now. We've lost all wind, and it's just a complete glass out. Oh boy. We're drifting at 0.5 of a knot. Hopefully some wind comes in soon.
Mum's pooped from the lack of wind and the constant changing of sails. The drifter staysail is up and the third reef is in, minimising impact on the boat as we roll in the swell. Who would have thought at 28 degrees north we'd be becalmed? Although at 38 degrees south, we were also becalmed in a doldrum-like ocean.
It hasn't been the start that Mum and I were hoping for.
You really can get anything where you least expect it. On day 35, I woke with a craving for pancakes and the enthusiasm to make them. When you can't sail, you eat pancakes, right?
Boost the spirits. They're good safe.
And they must have been good luck because a line of wind on the horizon appears, and it's creeping over to us. Painfully slow, but it's coming.
Want me to ease some magic?
Oh, got a long way to go up there.
Like the whole main.
Gentle breeze. There's a ship going behind us. And we're currently moving at 2.5 knots. It's not much, but it's something.
It was at least a beautiful day after a few days of cloud and gloom. We were now less than 3 days out from Japan, and the biggest sign that we're getting closer was the increase of debris and lost fishing gear floating past us.
One crazy thing is, I'm not sure if you can see that, a green bulb floating past. There's been so many fishing floats as we've gotten closer to Japan.
At this point, it was almost a constant stream, one float after another.
We are passing another one of these fishing floats. I wonder if they're plastic or glass. This one's red. It's been pretty nuts, the amount of fishing gear that we've seen. Luckily, no nets. We don't want to speak too soon though, because
we soon came across this monstrosity.
I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just a big net. And that's Mum and I's worst fear, is to get a net around us and have to dive in the water. Normally that's Simon's job, but aboard Fika, that's my job.
It was a part of what I signed up for as co-skipper, to be the below and above waterline fixer-upper.
Oh my god. Mum, the spinnaker wants to come down.
Oh, well done you.
Good job.
So seeing this is a very real reminder that we're not out of trouble with nets just yet. Our risk of getting something tangled on us seems to be only increasing. With approaching Japan at the forefront of our minds, we notice the forecast is determined to throw everything at us with a low pressure system moving over the country. Tomorrow, we're expecting grey skies and increasing conditions that will see us needing our spinnaker pole. The pole that's still lying on deck that typically lives attached to the track up the mast. We needed to get it fixed while we had Fika moving along pleasantly in a light breeze.
So our spinnaker poles usually live on the track on the mast. The other night, this pole, as we were getting it in, detached from its attachment on the track and came crashing down on deck. It wasn't an amazing situation because we weren't anticipating that to happen. Luckily its fall got broken by the topping lift, and it also got caught in this secondary pole's topping lift as well, and I was underneath it and sort of just caught it, and it also almost fell over the side as well. And it's been living on the side deck over the last couple of days, and today we need to figure out if we can reattach it back to its usual home on the mast, because we think we'll be needing this in the next couple of days.
Now somehow we're going to get it onto there. I think one of the highlights was
us working together. Whenever we had a challenge or an issue or something broke, we seemed to work really well together to get it fixed. And then I suppose the highlight was once we'd got it all fixed, that it was just that huge sense of relief.
Everything on Fika is either going to be stuck together by duct tape, zip ties, or Dyneema lashing by the time we get to Osaka.
There was no apparent reason why the pole detached itself. There seemed to be nothing broken or damaged, so it was as simple as reattaching it and fastening its connection. But to avoid having another pole come down on top of us, we lashed them up the best we could.
Alrighty, hopefully that's that problem solved. I think we've got our second pole back. Successful little boat job. Good job, Mum.
Taking part in this race, this adventure, has been life-changing. Reflecting on what we've just done, it's a hard thing to grasp. The days just blur together, and it's amazing how quickly you forget moments of the journey. As I look back at the footage that I've captured, a memory will be reignited that otherwise might have been forgotten, and I'm placed back in the moment and reliving it. This is a part of why I love filming these adventures, the good times and the bad.
I mean, maybe we might be able to repair it.
Because what a special thing to have for myself, my family, and that I can share these moments with you.
Here comes the rain.
Protecting these memories is a high priority for me. Storage devices can be so fragile. You put all your trust in them that they will hold your data, but we know firsthand that hard drives fail, and it's not a question if, it's when. We've learned the hard way to back up your drives with losing an entire season. It cost us months of time and thousands of dollars to salvage.
We could have bought a new drone for the price it cost us to have these files sitting on my computer right now.
Which has now seen us accumulate a ridiculous amount of hard drives, averaging about 2 4 terabyte hard drives per season we film. Our hard drives are getting out of control with backups of backups. These are just a few, and we needed a solution. While there are services that offer online cloud storage, we're hesitant of this because we see it as a bit of a trap. The fees are expensive and only increase as you upload more and more files. And once you start, you'll be paying those fees for as long as that data exists in the cloud. And let's be real, are you ever going to delete the data? We see it as signing up for a lifelong, very expensive subscription. But we have found a solution. It's something that's enabled us to completely expand the boundaries of what we ever thought was possible with data storage. And it has created an array of new opportunities for us with data sharing. This is one of Synology's incredible and compact NAS systems, short for Network Attached Storage, that's helped make this series possible. It is the secret powerhouse in the background that is keeping all of this footage secure to enable us to share it with the world. Basically, it's a box capable of storing 80 terabytes of data that can be accessed from anywhere in the world while it sits wherever you've set it up. For us, this means we no longer need to travel with copious amounts of hard drives, as we can upload and download footage from anywhere with this unit. This system has some awesome features. Firstly, the RAID configuration, standing for Redundant Array of Independent Disks. This is our biggest peace of mind because it means that our data is safely spread and backed up across multiple disks at any one time. So if a hard drive were to fail, the Synology system would identify this, alert you of it, then you can replace the faulty hard drive without losing any of your precious data. Another feature that's opening opportunity for us is not only can you work remotely from it, but you can have teams working remotely on shared projects by accessing files stored on your personal network. To set this system up to start storing your data is simple. Firstly, choose a safe location and ensure you have a good internet connection. We've chosen one of our parents' places for this, as our primary residence is floating on a boat at sea. So before you get started, you simply install the drives into the unit, then plug in the necessary cords, including your Internet Ethernet cable, then download the Disk Station Manager, which will allow you to manage storage and settings all from your web browser. From there, it's a simple setup process for you to then start uploading, downloading, and sharing files. And you can share with privacy, as you can create certain permissions for certain files, restricting access to only data you wish to share with specific people. Further making Synology a user-friendly system, you can also access your files through the Synology Drive and Synology Photo app that's available on desktop and mobile. The Drive is similar to public cloud services, but the upside is that you get to actually own your data in your own private cloud without subscriptions. There are other great features too, like advanced searching, creating team folders where you can real-time edit with your team, and plenty more great things. The Synology Photo app is also intuitive to use. You can easily create albums of your family or friends' holiday and share them with just a simple click. This system really is a game changer to our filmmaking and data anxiety. I now have every bit of footage I need at my fingertips without having to lug around a bag of hard drives or predict what footage I may want to use, say in reflections, which I do a lot of. And yes, I do want to keep every bit of footage we've ever shot because I'm a bit of a hoarder in that respect. You just never know when you'll need that raw file. Okay, this segment has probably been huge, but hopefully this is some helpful tips and information for anyone looking for storage solutions. For more details and products, head over to Synology's website to check it all out. Synology offers data solutions for any application from smaller home or hobbyist use to large-scale businesses. So we hope it makes a difference to your work or personal life too. Alrighty guys, let's get back into getting this boat across that finish line.
Well, we are up to the last 240 nautical miles of this race, and it looks like today is going to be a bit of a wild one. There is a low pressure system to the north of Japan that is providing us with some really strong southerlies, which is great because that means we're going to be flying. Currently we're goose winged and already sitting on about 8 to 9 knots because we've got this incredibly handy current working in our favor, and we've been sitting here all night. We diverted course just a fraction to get into it, and did it pay off. We have been sitting on about 8 to 10 knots overnight with not much wind, but today it's getting windier and windier. No doubt we'll be reefing very soon, and we're just glad that we've got the current with us and also a following wind, which is also good. So we predict that we'll be out the front of Osaka Bay at around 6 AM tomorrow morning. So yes, it's looking like we'll have a really quick trip to the start of this bay and potentially a very slow trip to the finish line.
Still not in yet. We're working on it slowly.
But for the moment, we'll make use of this good wind and lap up these good speeds. It's amazing to think we're about to make landfall in Japan, being now less than 48 hours away. In the chaos of the lead up to this event, I never truly processed that we were heading to Japan. And even as we've been sailing, I've pushed us finishing out of my mind to try keep in the moment and not get too ahead of myself, because anything can happen when you're sailing. So only now have I actually started to think about this incredible country that's right there before us after all this time at sea. And I'm finally allowing myself to get really excited. I'm excited for the celebrations. A cold beer or a glass of bubbles. To see Simon, or Slim as you know him, and to frolic around Japan together. I'm excited for the culture, the food, and for a full night's sleep. How are you feeling about almost being in?
Yeah, it's a funny feeling. I'm really looking forward to getting into Osaka, but at the same time feel a little sad that our trip is about to finish, though we do have the sail home. But it's been an incredible 37 days so far. So yeah, looking forward to getting up Osaka Bay and across the finish line.
It's been 36 days.
Hey?
36 days.
36 days. Okay, 36 days.
This is where I should say that I think I've counted a day twice, and Mum might be right that it is day 37. But anyway, that slow build of wind has been felt throughout the day, with now about 20 to 25 knots of wind pushing us along. We've been happy with full sails, with Fika still feeling balanced and, of course, speedy. But as we now creep into the afternoon and the wind continues to build, we make our first moves at reducing sail.
So conditions have slowly been building throughout the day. Mum and I have just put in the first reef, taking in a little bit of head sail. And Fika is surfing at about 9 to 10 knots, sometimes even hitting 11 knots.
It was our last day of ocean sailing. We've clocked over 30 degrees north and under 200 nautical miles to our waypoint set at the beginning of Wakayama Bay. And there's a bit of anticipation aboard as we commence the hardest navigational challenge of this trip. Coming up is, well, wild sailing conditions, with the wind predicted to reach 30 plus knots, while avoiding collisions with extensive shipping traffic, which we have already begun to converge with.
Let's hope this is our last dinner out here. Might be speaking too soon.
Out in the ocean. We'll definitely be in Osaka Bay tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're still sailing.
This is our last ocean dinner, at least. At least we can say that.
Through the night, as we experience the peak strength of the wind, we'll be crossing over a major current stream called the Kuroshio Current that flows from west to east at huge speeds of 2 to 4 knots. This will make the seas a crazy washing machine, which we'll deal with, alongside continuing to avoid the shipping traffic that's only increasing. We then have Osaka Bay, its fickle winds and the many obstacles that lay within it, including seaweed farms, to navigate before finding the finish line at the base of Osaka City. All of this is no quick or easy task, especially when fog makes it impossible to see more than a mile.
Oh, you can see the ship there. Wow, look at it coming out of the fog there. What's going on, Mum?
Well, Japan's about not even 10 miles that way, and we haven't sighted it yet.
But what have we sighted?
Oh, lots of frigging bloody ships. So
I was surprised to see when I popped my head out on day 37, or maybe it was 38, that the visibility was so bad, and it was worsening. Ships that we could barely see, some only a mile away and could not be seen at all, continued steaming around us, sounding their horns as warnings.
There's literally a boat that apparently is less than a mile in front of us, a ship, not just a boat, and I can't see it at all. I can hear the thing, I can't see it. Somewhere over there.
It was eerie hearing their engine and the displacement of water as they went by us, but not once did I get a visual of it.
That's insane.
The conditions had vastly changed from the night.
So we had those beautiful southerlies take us all through the night and shoot us along. We're doing incredible speeds. They have taken us all the way to sort of out the front of Osaka Bay. We're about just over 15 miles from the finish line, I would say, and the wind has gone from a southerly to a northerly and completely dropped out now. So a day of change today. We're not going to have southerlies, we're going to have some northerlies, and then probably no wind at all. As Mum said, we are only a few miles off the coast of Japan and we cannot see a bloody thing. The only giveaway that we're in Japan is that we've got Japanese blaring over the radio. And lots of ships to contend with, and we've been contending with them all night. Anyway, drifting in with the help of these huge waves that are left over from last night that are now just gently pushing us along, and a gentle breeze that's moving us at a whopping 3.5 knots.
We were so close now, and it was hard to contain our excitement for making it to this point. But looking at an unfavourable forecast, it would be a miracle if we could do these last 50 nautical miles before midnight. Looking at a similar day ahead is another competitor that we've managed to close the gap on. They've been on our radar before. It's father and daughter team Magellan. So we desperately try to find pockets of breeze, eager to finally catch them. The fog thickens before it thins, which finally allows us to catch our first glimpse.
There it is. Wow. Japan. It's day 38 out here. Wait, day 38? Day 37. It's day 37 out here, and behind me, we've got Japan. It's just emerged from the fog. Oh my god, there's more Japan over there.
There she is. Japan, after 37 days. Let's go with that. We really have done it. Well, just about. We've made it to the right country, and it feels surreal that it's right there. How you can sail across the globe and arrive to a place that is worlds apart still baffles me. Reflecting on moments of our journey here helps me put into perspective how long it has been. And happiness, proudness, and that huge sense of achievement that I chase in sailing overcomes me. As we neared the western coast of this bay, we found a funnel of brisk wind that soon had us reefing. But the wind was indecisive in strength, but decisive in direction. It would blow from exactly where we need to go, which saw us tacking back and forth with over 20 knots of wind or no wind at all. Of course, all whilst continuing to dodge ship after ship. It was a constant stream. Clear one, look out for the next.
The shipping is absolute chaos in here. There is no order. Everyone can just go anywhere, which makes it kind of tricky because you've got constantly ships crossing over the top of you, underneath you. You clear one ship and next minute another ship will pop up. That's going to come across your path. So definitely eyes are on the water at all times at the moment and on our instruments. I'm so blown away by the coastline here. I can't believe how mountainous this coastline is and the islands of it. It's just stunning. Quite surreal to think that we're in Japan. I know we've been sailing for 5 weeks, but it still just feels like we've rocked up here in an instant. Really bizarre. Feeling excited, feeling happy. Although the challenge isn't over yet, trying to tackle Osaka Bay and these waters before the finish line is tricky. No doubt we won't get much sleep tonight, so we're just, you know, taking the hours sleep here or there as we can. And otherwise, so we just finally found a little bit of good breeze and we're hitting our course at the moment, heading for the Eurocito. That's the next thing to negotiate.
The Eurocito is the narrow strait and entrance to Osaka Bay. This is the busiest point of traffic as ships enter and exit the bay. And we've got to get across it. Which has us a little on edge. We have no rights in this situation and must not hinder any ship in the traffic separation scheme. So we have to pick a gap and hope we make it across before the next 100,000 tons of metal powers through. Luckily, out of all the fickle wind, we've found it to be funneling and gusting through this bottleneck, which provides us with the speed to make a quick dash for it. We're like a chicken crossing the road. But we make it to the other side and through, and we release a big sigh of relief.
Well, we've got 30 nautical miles until the finish line. We've just come through the Eurocito and missed all of the ships.
We nearly got the buffet.
We were trying to get the buffet of the passenger ship, but they refused us entry. So we're going to continue on to the finish line, 30 nautical miles, and I mean, we've got some nice wind now, but whether it stays in or not, we're not too sure. Hopefully we can get in sometime this evening.
We had made it into Osaka Bay, the final hurdle between us and that finish line. This is when sight would have been incredibly handy, but we didn't have that luxury. It was not long until we were in the pitch black night, but glowing amongst us was by far the most luminescent phosphorescence I've ever seen.
Whoa, look at that.
Maybe it had a tinge of radioactivity to help it glow. Wind was also proving to be a luxury. One minute we sailed, and the next we joined Magellan in a windless hole. We had finally caught them.
There's Magellan.
Over 5,000 nautical miles had been covered, and we could have ended up anywhere, but here we were, so close together.
We're going to be crossing meters from them.
And even better, after all this time, we finally overtook them.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Hey guys!
Yeah. It would just be so nice. Yeah.
See you soon.
This was the beginning of a tight tacking battle. Fika and Magellan would fight for every inch of water, determined to make it to the finish line before the other.
That sort of tacking duel with Magellan, it was really stimulating and exciting, and I really loved that, and we just seemed to be dancing with Fika with our tacking duel, and yeah, I loved that. That was really good fun.
With the wind still blowing from the finish line, there was a lot keeping us on our toes. Constant tacking with Magellan, sometimes clearing each other only by metres. Then there was the airport and the seaweed farm to avoid, and of course the ships that continue to steam. It was a big night with barely a wink of sleep.
It's 12 o'clock Japan time. We are 14 miles out. It's been a slow night. Yeah, still not in yet. We're working on it. Slowly. We're tacking up the bay, making very slow miles.
We made 16 miles in about 5 hours, and the next 14 would take us another 5. A distance that would usually take about 2 hours aboard Fika. Albeit slow, it was a fight right until the end, with Magellan right next to us.
Well, you can't see us, but we're just about to end this 5,500 nautical mile ocean race. We are about a mile from the finish line. Can't believe it. Looking forward to a cold drink, I reckon, and it's about 5 o'clock in the morning.
The last mile would determine who would get there first. At opposite ends of the line, one of us crossed just minutes before the other. Unfortunately, there was some confusion aboard Fika as to where the line was.
Are we finished? This is Fika,
Fika, this is HQ.
have we crossed the line,
Not yet.
So it wasn't us, but we did it.
So we crossed the line at 5:05, I believe, this morning. The sun, or the beginnings of daylight, are beginning to show. And boy, are we pooped. We've been going all night. It's been full on. We're just waiting for the escort boat to tell us where we're going. And we'll be tied up very soon.
From 38 degrees south to 34 degrees north. There is no feeling like it.
We did it!
Yay! So I've lost my voice from screaming at you. Screaming above the wind, telling you where the ships are and markers are.
What was it like when you caught our lines when we came into Osaka?
Oh yeah, it was so cool to see the guys come in after such a mammoth achievement, knowing full well what they've been through to get there, and just the frustrations of getting through the doldrums and those no-win situations where you just feel so helpless. So proud of the achievement to see the guys come in and still smiling and loving each other. It's just fantastic.
Relief and like an overwhelming feeling of joy, an excitement for you and an excitement to see you, both of you. Cheers!
Well done to everybody. Yeah, well done, guys.
Hey, one more! Hey, buddy!
A few words, Sophie. How are you feeling?
Very exhausted. We didn't get much sleep. We've just been tacking our way up Osaka Bay, dodging ships, dodging seaweed farms, and dodging Magellan. We were like in a tacking duel with them, and yeah, we crossed, I think, the finish line only 9 minutes behind them. Yeah, just stoked to be in. So cheers! Thanks for following along, guys. It's very special. And behind the camera is legend Ken, world solo sailor. How was your trip?
Big. It's a long way.
It is a long way.
Yes, it's lots of trials and tribulations, but some beautiful sailing. Absolutely stunning sailing.
Favourite moment?
Finishing.
That's what the feeling you're chasing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. To be here and such a great venue, and and camaraderie and everything is fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, very excited to be here too. Very excited. We're in, Mum. We are in. Words of wisdom.
Get a bigger bottle of champagne.
Get a bigger bottle of champagne.
Well, we were in. It's hard to sum up this journey. There are so many layers to it. But while there were some really hard moments, there was so much beauty. and I'm forever going to have these images imprinted in my mind. The vast blue ocean, the wildlife, the beautiful sailing. I'm so grateful for these new memories I've made with my mum. We had a couple of moments, mostly in those of frustration, but overall we made a good team, and I'm just so proud of what we've accomplished. The first mother and daughter and all-female team to complete this ocean race. Now we were in Japan with the other boats that have arrived before us. And it was time to enjoy the celebrations.
Please allow me to give some opening remarks. Closing remarks.
Team Fika came 9th in the PHS division and was the 13th boat over the line. But this race is about so much more than winning.
72 litres of sake. How excited am I? Yeah.
That's something only a loser would say, right? But it is. It's a test of physical and mental limits, and we've proved just how resilient we are. We are a part of a very small group who have made this journey since the race beginning in 1987. Between competitors, there's a silent understanding of what we've all been through, and of course, accomplished. An instant bond which makes for an outstanding celebration. This adventure would not have been possible without the race organisers who have worked tirelessly in Australia and Japan. So thank you. And a huge thank you for tuning in to this series, and thank you for your kind words and comments throughout. The support has been far beyond what we could have ever imagined. I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons who have made sharing this journey possible. So I hope you have all enjoyed coming along with us through the many highs and lows of this adventure. If you want to support the videos and get real-time updates and other perks,
Mum's just presented me with a fish.
then we welcome you over to our Patreon page. However, if you're not in the position to join us there, then just simply enjoying, subscribing, commenting and sharing our videos is a great way to help get our videos out there and seen by others. So what's next from here? Well, the return journey, which is coming up next. We are joined by Slim and my dad, and we get to now stop at all of these incredible places that we had to sail past. I cannot wait to bring you along for that journey before we get back into our lap of Australia. Thanks so much, guys. Lots of love, and we'll see you in the next one.